You are standing in your own way to pursue your dreams, and in this video I'm going to share some mindset hacks that will help you to trick yourself to get out of your way. I know you're here for the information, so I get into it right away. Hack number 1. Start visualizing your dream life. Imagine it, see it, feel it. Are you feeling the excitement in your tummy? Yeah? Amazing. Okay, now it's time to get back to reality. Wake up. You're big delusional now. I'm so sorry, but I have to be this lame person who ruins the mood now. But this is for your own good. Now that you visualized your dream life and I woke you up back to the reality, how do you feel? Are you excited about your current reality? Are you excited about the reality you live in? If no, then you gotta change some things. The next thing I want you to think about is how will your life be if you continue living your life like you live now? Think of the possible scenarios. How will your life be if you continue living your life like you live now without changing anything? How will your life be in 10 years, in 5 years, in 1 year? Will it be the life you want? This visualization exercise should serve you as a wake-up call / motivation to make some changes in your life, because this is the life you have now and it will stay like it if you don't make any changes. So the visualization exercise is supposed to help you to wake you up that, hey, this is my dream, but this is the life I live now. Are they aligned? And if I keep continuing like this, if I keep living like this, then the dream I dream about, I will never reach it, because the actions you take now, if they don't contribute to your future dream life, then you're basically just wasting your time. If they're not aligned, if your dream and your current life, if they're not aligned, then you have to change something. Even if it's small steps. Small steps is what matters, because the small steps will get you much further than the big occasional steps. 100%. Hack number 2. You have to pay for your bills. Anyways, so how do you rather do it? The fact is that we live in a society where we have expenses, we have bills to pay, we want to buy things, la di la di la. The conclusion is that you will have to pay for things, you will have to pay for your bills. So how do you rather do it? Do you rather earn your money and pay your bills by doing things you actually enjoy, or do you do that by suffering through life? The thing is that life will get you shit anyways. No matter what you do in life, you will get shit on your shoulders. But the nice thing is that you get to choose your shit. So choose wisely. Okay, the third mindset hack is to think, what if everything works out? We humans tend to catastrophize everything. We tend to think of the worst possible scenario. But did you know that this is actually the chimp in you doing this? It's the animal in you catastrophizing everything. A human brain is actually able to be less emotional. A human brain is able to rationalize things, look at them less emotionally. So instead of thinking, what if it doesn't work out, think, what if it does? So instead of thinking, what if it doesn't work out, what if I fail, what if I end up on the streets, what if I lose my job, what if, I don't know, my life just... Instead of thinking, what if my life becomes a complete disaster, what if instead you will think, oh, but what if it works out? So amazing, imagine, like, what if it actually works out? Because, so instead of thinking of all these awful scenarios, think of, what if it does work out? What if everything works out? Because, you know, the fact is that these worst case scenarios, they rarely actually happen. The worst thing that can happen is that, yeah, it doesn't work out, your dream didn't work out, the thing didn't go as you wanted. Well, at least you tried, and you will be closer to your actual mission, to your real purpose, because every trial and error brings us closer to our real mission, to the thing that we're actually meant to do. The hack number 4 is to think of the worst case scenario, but not in the way as you think. So instead of thinking of the worst case scenario of acting on your dreams, think of the worst case scenario of not doing it. So instead of thinking, what if I start going for my dreams? What if I do this that I actually want to do? But what if I fail? Think, what if I don't do it? What if I don't start acting on my dreams? What if I ignore my dreams and just continue living my life like I live now? Think of that worst case scenario. Think what will happen if you don't act on your dreams, if you just ignore your dreams, if you just continue living like you do now. What will then happen? What's that worst case scenario? Think of that. This is the only case you're allowed to think of the worst case scenario, and you should think of the worst case scenario because that will give a little motivation probably. What's the worst case scenario if you keep living like this as you live now? Think of the regrets on your deathbed. What will you think? You know, like my worst fear in life is to be on my deathbed and say these words: I wish I would have tried that thing. That's like horror story for me. I'm so afraid of that. In the situations when I'm like, should I do this? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just not do it because I'm afraid I fail. I'm like, okay, but what will I think when I'm on my deathbed? How will I think? And if it comes to my head that I will regret this thing if I won't try it, then I'm like, I'm gonna do it because it's the last thing I want. I don't want to say these words. I wish I would have tried that thing. No. Hack number 5 is to think about this. You still have a long life ahead of you. Is this how you want to spend your life? Your very long life? Is settling for less how you want to spend your life? Is that really how you want to spend your precious hours? Because the fact is, if you're in your 20s, if you're in your 30s, if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, you still have quite some life left to live. Do you want to spend all those years, months, weeks, days, minutes, and seconds doing what you do now? Do you want to spend that time settling for less? I hope these 5 mindset hacks will do it for you. Use a visualization exercise every time you need a little wake-up call or motivation to go after your dreams. Remember that you don't need to make drastic changes to go after your dreams. Small steps will take you much further than occasional big steps once in a while. And life will give you lemons anyway, so rather pick the ripe ones. Rather pick the ones that appeal the most for you. Because otherwise the lemons are gonna be really sour. And remember that rarely the most catastrophic events we imagine in our heads actually happen. If you didn't succeed in your dream, well, at least you tried, and that is so valuable because you actually get closer to your purpose and meaning. Choose to do things that bring you happiness and joy, and don't let fear to hold you back from pursuing your dreams. You still have quite a long life ahead of you, so don't spend that time settling for less. If you found this video valuable, please give it a like, and if you want to see more content from me like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you're wondering what to watch next, YouTube has made you a suggestion based on what you might like based on your previous histories. If YouTube was correct, please watch this video next, and I thank you for watching this video, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye!